Hello everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. Asterisk, the next night. Jack wore a thick cloak, holding a cloth bag containing the liturgy book and the handbook. The sky was overcast, the moon hidden by clouds, only faint rays of light filtering through the gaps. The road leading to St. Mary's was shrouded in thick fog. The bare branches of the trees clustered overhead like broken arms, trying to grab anyone who dared to pass by. There was no room for hesitation. Jack knew that if he did not end the night, he would never have another chance. When he reached the church gate, Jack heard the long ringing of the bell. The rusty iron gate creaked open before he could touch it. A cold wind blew out from the darkness, carrying with it the familiar smell of mold. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. At that moment, the sound of the wind was swallowed up, leaving an eerie silence inside. The rotting pews still lay still. The flashlight beam shone on the moss-covered walls, where the old holy paintings had been scratched and distorted. The air was so thick, so heavy, that Jack felt as if he was stepping on ashes with every step. He headed for the basement stairs, his hand clutching the book. The basement door was not closed this time, but slightly open, as if someone was waiting. Jack pushed it open, stepping down the cold stone steps. The whispering began again, denser than ever. Voices overlapped, pleading, cursing, crying. Jack was surrounded by the chaos, but he kept going. When he reached the bottom of the stairs, the sight before him took Jack's breath away. The room was now lit by burning red symbols on the walls. The stone table vibrated as if it had a heartbeat. On it, the ancient ritual book glowed faintly, as if responding to the presence of the original Jack had brought. And in the corner of the room, the figure of the priest appeared, his eyes shining brightly at him. Jack opened the small book, trembling as he reread the notes from the monastery. He knew that to break the ritual, he had to read the summoning words backwards. But that meant he would be bound to the very souls that were crying out. Jack looked up at the shadows that were hovering around, their eyes desperate, pained, yearning. For release, his throat tightened, but he clenched his fists. He opened the ritual book, the pages flying as if blown by the wind. The priest's voice growled, echoing in his head, "Do not do anything foolish, you will die." Jack gritted his teeth, blocking out the voice, and began to read the distorted words backwards. Instantly, the room shook violently. The red symbols on the walls burned, then shattered like shards of glass. Screams rang out everywhere, mixed with the priest's angry shriek. The shadow lunged at Jack, his long arms reaching out, but the black chains held him tight, pulling him back. Jack continued reading, his voice trembling but determined. The book in his hand was hot, burning his skin. He felt his blood boil, his veins burning. The ghosts around him began to glow, their faces softening as if they were being freed. The priest roared one last time, his body cracking, shattering into thousands of pieces of black smoke, disappearing into the darkness. But at that moment, Jack felt an invisible string tightening around his heart. He collapsed, the book falling to the ground, the leather cover smoldering dot. Jack gasped, sweating profusely. But when he looked up, the ghosts around him had melted away in the soft light. The basement room was now silent, dark but no longer screaming. He trembled, knowing that the ritual had been broken. But in his heart echoed another sound, small but familiar. The priest's voice, now in his head. He woke up, realizing that he had passed out on the stone floor. The sky outside was lightening, the first rays of sunlight filtering through the crack in the basement door. Jack trudged outside, exhausted. The village was quiet, but he knew the darkness had not really gone. It had found a new home, and it was him in the next episode. Jack would face the horrifying truth that the priest's spirit was firmly planted in his mind, and the fight for freedom had only just begun.